Hey, it's Tara, your yoga bestie, and I'm so excited that you're here with me today. Got a great class. Not any props today, unless you just like to have them like I do. So I always have my two blocks, but feel free to bring in anything that you like to have. And we're to start out on our backs. So let's make our way into a reclined space. We can extend our legs out in front of us, or we can bring the soles of the feet onto the mat, or we might bring them together. It's my little buddy, Lionel. So everything is good in the world when he's here. Mwah. So find your space, settle in by maybe wiggling into your spot, and we'll close our eyes as we start to tap into our ujjayi breath. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Taking this time to just let go of any thoughts or worries so that you can focus on your breath, which is our energy source throughout our practice. We might inhale to the count of 3, 4, 5, or even 6, and then exhale the same, or maybe that exhalation is a little bit longer depending on what you're feeling in the moment, because the breath will most likely change throughout your practice, and that's totally normal. But while you're tuning in, we've been talking about the yamas in my class, which are the first of the 8 limbs of yoga. It's how we show up in the world. And we're currently talking about Asteya, which translates to non-stealing, but we're trusting that there's enough, and our focus is on contentment. So not everything needs to be deeper or harder or more impressive to be meaningful. What if where you are already is enough? Or if you've been here for a while, maybe you give yourself contentment in being able to wobble or be a little bit more vulnerable in your practice, which may not be as perfect as something that you've been practicing for a while and you've been in that same space for a while. So being content with allowing yourself to grow. So whatever you're needing, please take that with you. On our next inhale, we'll find a nice full body stretch. We can extend the arms up overhead, we can extend our legs out in front of us. Any other movement that feels good at this time, maybe moving the head from side to side, maybe making some rotations of the wrists, the ankles, just saying hello to your body today. And then we'll bring our hands together at our heart center, our Anjali mudra, as we set our intention for our practice, which might be trusting that there's enough for Asteya and focusing on our contentment. Or maybe it's something else that comes to mind that you need right now. Please honor that. And we'll take another big breath in here. Exhale, let it go. And then bring your knees into your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze as we rock along the spine. Finding some movement with our breath. We might make some circles. Might find our happy baby pose. Oh, good. Lionel's rooting with us while we're on our mats. Love it. And then we'll bring our knees into our chest. Give them a nice big hug as you round the spine. Maybe draw the nose towards the knees. And we'll start to rock and roll forward and back here. So finding a rhythm that feels good in your body. Eventually making our way into our standing forward fold at the front of our mat, where we'll want to separate our feet about hip distance apart, which is at least 2 fists in between the feet. I say that because I like to do it a little bit wider than that. It feels better in my body. And then you might find an arm variation, like reaching for opposite elbows, bringing the arms behind the back. Maybe your hands are on blocks or a prop if you have those. And we might sway or shake the head out as if we're saying yes and no, just kind of checking in with how we're feeling. 2 breaths as we inhale. Exhale. Big breath in. And then on our exhale, release those arms. We'll toe heel our feet in towards one another. And we might have a slight bend in the knees as we roll it all the way up to standing. As soon as our head lifts, let's reach those arms up and back. Exhale, hands come to heart. We'll work those shoulders up, back, and down. And then let's inhale, arms reach, gaze lifts. Exhale into our forward fold. So we can swan dive or bring the hands through heart center. Inhale, we lengthen halfway. And then exhale, forward fold, bending the knees a lot so that we can plant our hands. Keep your gaze forward as you step it back into your plank pose. Super strong. Big breath in here. And as we exhale, we're to lower onto our bellies for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, we come all the way down. Tops of the feet come in the mat. Hands are underneath the shoulders as we inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, we'll lower. Let's move through that a few times. I like to come onto my fingertips in a wide stance and then bring in some shoulder dips. So if that feels like something you're interested in, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, keep your hand placement the same. And the next time that the forehead lowers, let's make our way into our first down dog. So hands underneath the shoulders, lifting up those hips nice and high and finding some movement in this space so we can bicycle the legs. We might bend the knees as we move our hips from side to side. Also a really great time to check in with the breath to make sure you're not holding it here. And then we'll lift up the right leg. We're going to open up that hip, heel to behind, knee up towards the ceiling. Hold it or make some circles going in one direction, going in the other direction. And then as we inhale, we'll straighten that leg. Exhale, knee draws to nose, and we'll bring that foot in between our hands, finding our runner's lunge. We'll start to shift forward and back here. So moving from runners to our pyramid pose. Feel free to take any detours, which might be lowering that back knee. It might be lingering somewhere. Yeah, and the next time that you shift it forward, go ahead and lower that back knee down right above the kneecap. Arms will reach up overhead for our supported crescent pose, working those shoulders down as you lift up through the chest. And then as we exhale, we're working our way into our half splits. So maybe it's no hands, reaching those arms back, or maybe you have your hands down. And then we'll start to move forward and back here. So inhaling forward, exhale, we shift it back. Next time that we shift it back, go ahead and bring your hands down, crawl it forward into your runner's lunge, where we'll move into our twist here. So left hand comes down, right arm is up as we come into our runner's twist. Maybe you come to the outer edges of both feet as you reach towards the back of your mat. Coming into this horizon lunge. Full breath in here. As we exhale, we'll bring that hand down, and we're coming all the way to the back of the mat, setting up like we're coming into warrior 2, but we're moving into our reverse warrior. So we're going to reach all the way up and over. Keep softening that forward knee. Gaze could be up, or maybe it's at your back foot here as you continue to soften that knee. One more breath in. As we exhale, bring those left fingertips in front of those left toes, moving into our half moon. So we're opening up here, really flexing through that right foot as we stack shoulder on top of shoulder. Big breath in. And then on our exhale, bring your right hand down, bring your right leg behind the left. And we're going to find some cat-cow movement in this cross-legged forward fold. So as we inhale, we think about drawing those shoulders back, gaze and chest forward. Exhale, rounding the upper back. And just find a rhythm that works with the pace of your breath here. And then we're going to step that right foot back. We'll find our way into our plank pose, and we're lowering all the way onto our bellies. And just find your breath here. So hands can stay underneath the shoulders. Feel that rise and fall of the belly since it's in the mat. Take one more big breath in. Exhale. And then tuck your left toes under. Push the mat as you round the upper back, drawing that right knee in towards your nose. So we're tiger curling here. And then we move into wild thing. So bring that right foot behind, lifting up those hips. Might be finding some movement here. Next inhale, we lift up. Exhale, we lower our seat. So as we lower our seat, we reach towards the front of our mat. We're taking a big breath in. Exhale. And then on our inhale, we lift up those hips, stepping the right foot towards the back of the mat. And we move right into our exalted warrior. So left arm is up, right arm is down as we continue to soften through that knee. Our gaze might be past our shoulder, up towards the fingertips. Big breath here. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. And then we're coming into what I'm calling a hero squat. So half hero's pose, half of the squat. So the top of that left foot is on the mat. We can walk our hands over towards the right side, either just walking our hands there, or we might bring our hands to heart center, find a little bit of a twist in this space. Big breath in. Exhale. And we'll bring those hands down. We'll step that left foot back as we come into star pose. So we're facing the long edge of the mat. We might go ahead and spirit fingers here, a little bit of sparkly spirit fingers. Big breath in. And then as we exhale, go ahead and bring your hands all the way to the front of the mat. And we're going to go right into our other side. So we'll come into our one-legged down dog, opening up this left side, holding it here, maybe finding some circles going in one direction, going in the other direction. Inhale, we straighten that leg. Exhale, knee draws to nose, and we'll bring that foot all the way through, maybe finding our props if we like those as we shift forward and back in this space. Noticing differences from one side to the next. Next time you shift it forward, lower that back knee down right above the kneecap and come into your supported crescent pose, working those shoulders down as you lift up through the chest. We inhale here. Exhale, coming into your half splits. Find your version. It may be different from one side to the next. And then we'll start to move through this at the pace of our breath, inhaling forward and then exhaling back. Next time you come into that half splits, go ahead and crawl it forward, coming into your runner's twist. Maybe moving into your horizon lunge by coming to the outer edges of both feet and reaching towards the back of your mat. Big breath in here. Exhale, bring that left hand down, walk all the way through center, setting up for those warrior two legs to the back as we move into our reverse warrior, reaching up and over. So really softening through that forward knee. Big breath in. Exhale, moving into our half moon. So right fingertips in front of right toes as we lift up that left arm and leg. Really flexing through the foot. Inhale. Exhale, lower that left hand down and bring that left leg behind the right as we start to find some cat-cow movements in this cross-legged forward fold. Yeah, and then from here, we'll go ahead and step our left foot back and then our right foot back as we lower all the way onto our bellies. And we find our breath in this space. So we're inhaling and exhaling. Taking a moment just to find a little bit of contentment as we're here. And then tuck your right toes under, push into the mat, rounding the upper back as you bring that left knee in towards your nose, tiger curl. And then we move into our wild thing. So pulling that back bend, we might find some movement in this space. Big inhale, we lift. Until we lower our seat all the way down, and it's kind of a dramatic pause. We want to reach towards the front, like we're reaching for somebody, and then we're like, never mind, and then lift up and bring that left foot to the back of our mat as we move into our exalted warrior. So right arm is up, left arm is down as we continue to soften through that knee. Big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel us down for our hero squat. So now we're on the top of that right foot. We can twist towards the left, maybe finding that hands to heart as we go a little bit deeper, bringing that elbow to the outside of that thigh. One more breath in. Exhale, lower those hands. Step the right foot back, coming into your star pose, maybe with twinkly fingers. Inhale. And then as we exhale, bring your hands all the way to the front of the mat. And we'll take it through a vinyasa so we can find that plank pose, lower with muscle, maybe to a hover this time. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And then we exhale into our down dog. And let's check in with our breath in this space as we take a big breath here. Exhale, soften the knees, gazing forward. We step or float to the front. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Let's reverse, reach it up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant, gazes forward as we step or float. Making our way through our vinyasa, or we can always skip it, going right to our down dog from plank pose. Big breath in. Exhale, soften those knees, gaze forward as you step or float to the front. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, forward. Let's reverse, reach it up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthening. Hands plant as we step or float. Making our way all the way to down dog. Big breath in. Exhale, soften those knees, gaze forward as we step or float to the front. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, forward. One more of these, we'll reverse, reaching it up and back. Exhale, forward fold. We inhale, lengthening, hands plant as we make our way to our down dog or any resting position of choice. How we doing? That's our warm-up for today, which is always exciting because our warm-up takes so many of the poses into play that we're going to be using in our two main sequences, which I call peanut butter and jelly. So we'll do peanut butter 3 times, we'll do jelly 3 times, and then at the end, we bring the two together for one delicious peanut butter and jelly sequence sandwich, which is my favorite part of the practice. So take a moment just to check in with your breath right now. Get a drink of water, or unfortunately for me, not Topo, but San Pellegrino, because Topo's, can't find it anywhere right now. Let's take a moment to be sad about Topo. So we're going to be meeting on our bellies. So make your way there. We are trusting that there's enough, leading with contentment. So once we make our way onto our bellies, check in with your breath here. Feel the rise and fall of the belly as the hands come underneath the shoulders. Big breath in. Exhale. And then tuck your left toes under. Pushing into the mat, we round the upper back, bringing that right knee in towards our nose as we tiger curl. And then we move into our wild thing. Big breath here. Exhale, lower the seat. That dramatic pause, we reach towards the back. And then on our inhale, we lift up those hips, take a step forward with that right foot, going right into our exalted warrior. So bring that left arm up, right arm down, softening through that knee. We inhale. As we exhale, cartwheel it down for our hero squat. So we have the same option as we did in the warm-up where we can come into our twist, or we have ourselves set up for a really great arm balance. So what I like about the way that we're positioned is that our seat is technically kind of on the floor, but we're not all the way on the floor. By being on that foot, we have much more space to work with. So we can bring those hands to the outside of the leg and maybe play with lifting up those legs. Maybe we even kind of ninja kick that left leg up a little bit higher. So if I'm facing you, it looks like this. And hiya, right? So check in, see what happens. Maybe it's fun, and if it's not fun, it might be fun later. Or we can just come into a twist. No big deal. From our hero squat, we're moving into dancing Shiva. So we're immediately kicking that left leg forward as we twist towards the left. Lots of options for here. You could have that leg bent and reach for the outside. You could reach for the outside of your foot and work that leg straightish, or it could be bent or straightish without the hand placement to the outside of the leg. Take a big breath in here. Exhale. We're moving right into our revolved half moon. So we cartwheel down to where that left hand comes down, and we twist the other direction. So twist one way and then the other way. Really flexing through that left foot, feeling those inner thighs drawn towards each other. That's where all the strength is, towards that center line of the body. And big breath in here. Exhale, take a step back, and we open up into our star pose. Take full breath in here, lift up through the chest and gaze, and then we're coming into what I'm calling fallen star. So we fall all the way to the back and come on to our bellies, which means we're ready for the next side. So first, take your forehead into the mat, big breath in. Exhale. Right toes tuck under, left knee draws the nose as we're rounding the upper back, and then bring that left leg behind for wild thing. We inhale, lifting the hips. Exhale, we lower, reaching towards the front. On our next inhale, we lift up those hips again, taking a step to the back with that left foot, and then moving into our exalted. So right arm is up, left arm is down, continuing to soften through that knee. Big breath here. Exhale, cartwheel it down for your hero squat. So option to find that arm balance if you like it, or find your twist. So if we're moving into that arm balance, we're lifting up. Maybe we're finding that kick through the right leg. So it's like chaturanga arms. So if I'm facing you, we have those elbows in. I'm using just my right arm, but you could shelve with both elbows. You just won't have as much height as you start to kick. So that is our hero squat to our arm balance. From here, we move into dancing Shiva. So we kick that right leg forward as we twist towards the right. You find your version, whatever you're liking today. Maybe it changes from one side to the next. Maybe it changes the next time you go through it. All good. And then we wind ourselves the other direction for, our revolved half moon. Maybe we fall into it. That's okay. Really flexing through that right foot, inner thighs draw in towards one another as you lengthen through the crown of the head. Big breath in. Exhale, step it back. Star pose. Opening up through the chest. Big breath here. Exhale, fallen star to the front of your mat. And we make our way all the way onto our bellies. Hands underneath the shoulders. We'll start to pick up the pace. Left toes tuck. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, lower that seat. Inhale, lift, taking a step forward. And then we move into our exalted. We cartwheel those hands down for our hero squat, whatever version you like. And then as we inhale, we lift it up, dancing Shiva. And then we wind it down for that revolved half moon. We take our step back, star pose, and we fall and star to the back of our mat as we make our way all the way on to our bellies. Right toes tuck as we inhale. Exhale, left knee to nose. We inhale, wild thing. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, left foot steps to the back. And then we move into our exalted. We cartwheel those hands down for our hero squat. Can find our twist or whatever else we might want to add. And then we gaze the back of the mat, moving into our dancing Shiva to our revolved half moon. Inhale, exhale, step back, star pose. And then we fallen star to the front of our mat where we make our way onto our bellies. Left toes tuck. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, lower that seat. Inhale, lift it up and step forward all the way to our exalted. Exhale, cartwheel it down. We move into our hero squat. Maybe that brings in our twist. And then we move into dancing Shiva. Exhale, move it into that revolved half moon where we step it back. Star pose. And then we fall and star all the way to the back, making our way onto our bellies. Inhale, right toes tuck. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, wildly. Exhale, lower that seat. Inhale, lift it up, step it forward, and then we move into our exalted. We cartwheel it down for our hero squat, maybe twist or arm balance. Inhale, moving into dancing Shiva. Exhale, cartwheel it down. We step it back. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, fallen star. And maybe this time we take it through a vinyasa, making our way to our down dog or any resting position of choice. How's it going? I hope it's amazing. I'm going to tell you why it's amazing, because jelly's coming up. Are you ready for that jelly? I think you are. We're going to meet at the front of our mats in mountain pose. Feel free to get a drink of water or whatever your beverage is. It's not topo. Get a towel. Put a different sentiment over, like a feeling of contentment over your face, because we are ready to move on to our next section. You're doing so good. So let's draw those shoulders up, back and down. We're trusting that there's enough. We're fully content with that. And we'll inhale, reaching those arms up, gaze lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen. Right foot stays as our left foot steps back. And then we lower that knee as we inhale, supported crescent pose. Exhale, half splits, maybe no hands. We then shift it forward for runner's twist, maybe going right into that horizon lunge here. And then we bring that hand down, walking through the center all the way to the back. Warrior two legs brings us into that reverse warrior as we reach up and over. Big breath in here. Exhale, moving into half moon. So next inhale, lifts that right arm and leg up. Opening up here as we flex through that foot. And then we bring that right hand down. Right leg comes behind the left, so we're in a cross-legged forward fold. We'll find that cat-cow movement that we worked through in our warm-up. And then we've got a little extra. So if you want to move into your cross-legged crow pose, keep those ankles crossed, separating the knees, so it looks like this. And then those knees come onto the triceps as we lift up the feet. Really pushing the floor away as we bring our gaze forward. So, option to go into that or not. But if you do, fun little bonus challenge. Can you bring your left foot down and then your right foot back? Because then we're ready for the second side. If not, just bring your right foot back, keeping your left foot forward. And then we lower that knee down as we inhale, supported crescent. Exhale, half splits. We shift it forward, runner's twist, maybe going right into our horizon lunge. And then we bring that hand down, walking through center, all the way to the front as we inhale, reverse warrior. Keep softening that knee as we take a big breath in. Exhale, moving into our half moon. So right fingertips in front of right toes, flexing through that foot, opening up that hip. Big breath here. Exhale, left hand lowers, left leg comes behind, and we're in that cross-legged forward fold. We can find that cat-cow movement here. That might be where we stay. Or we keep those ankles crossed, bring those hands down as we move into our cross-legged crow pose. And just see what happens. Give yourself permission to play. See, remember, if both feet are lifted, even if it's for the tiniest amount of time, it counts. You did it then. It doesn't matter how long you did it. That comes with time anyway. So just try it and see what happens. And maybe you're trying it and you're like, I got this. Keep bringing your gaze forward. That's going to make it easier. And then right foot comes down, left foot comes back, and we're ready for our other side again. So lowering that back knee down, we inhale, crescent, supported crescent. Exhale, half splits. We shift it forward for runner's twist, maybe going right into our horizon lunge. And then we bring that hand down, walking through center. We inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, moving into our half moon. We inhale, lift. And then exhale, right hand lowers, right leg comes behind. You can move through some cat-cow, or maybe you go right into that arm balance. And then left foot comes down, right foot back. Lower that knee, we inhale, crescent. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, shift it forward, runner's twist to horizon. Exhale, bring that hand down. Walk it through center to the other side as we inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, moving into half moon. And then left hand lowers. Left leg comes behind. We inhale, cat-cow, or maybe we find a little baby crow. And then right foot down, left foot back. Knee lowers as we inhale, supported crescent. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, runner's twist to horizon. Exhale, bring that hand down, walk through center. We inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, transitioning into that half moon. Inhale, lift. Exhale, moving into that cross-legged forward fold. Find that cat-cow or maybe go into your arm balance. And then left foot down, right foot back. We lower our knee as we inhale. Exhale. Inhale forward. Exhale, bring it through center. Inhale, reverse warrior. I'm having too much fun. Exhale, bring it into your half moon where we inhale. And then left hand, left leg lower. Find your cat-cow movement or maybe move right into your cross-legged crow. And then we can step it back to down dog, maybe moving through a vinyasa or finding any resting position of choice. Guess what time it is? It's peanut butter and jelly time. You made it to my favorite part of the practice. So we're going to bring these two together one last time. Are you ready? Are you ready? Start on your belly. Yeah, kind of doesn't rhyme, but that's okay. So make your way to your belly. We're trusting there's enough. We're leading with contentment. And you've got this all day. I believe in you. So let's make our way to our bellies. Hands underneath shoulders. Check in with your breath. Full inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left toes tuck. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale, moving into your wild thing. Exhale, lower that seat. Inhale, we lift, stepping that right foot forward, and we move into our exalted warrior. Exhale, cartwheels us down into our hero squat, where we twist, or we can always add on from there. And moving into dancing Shiva, we kick that left leg forward as we twist, and then we wind it down into that revolved half moon. Step it back, star pose, and we fall in star to the back, but hold it here. We go right into jelly, so knee lowers, arms reach as we inhale. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, shift it forward, horizon, and then we move through center towards the front as we inhale, reverse warrior. We move into our half moon, lifting up that left arm and leg, and then left hand lowers, left leg comes behind as we come into our cat-cow movement here, or we can find that cross-legged crow pose and then move into our belly so we can just step it back and come onto our bellies, which means the first side is done. Let's do this. Hands underneath the shoulders. Right toes tuck as we inhale. Exhale, left knee to nose. We inhale, wild thing. Exhale, lower that seat. Inhale, lift. Left foot steps towards the front. And we move into our exalted. Cartwheeling those hands down for our hero squat. And then inhale, moving into dancing Shiva, twisting towards the right. And we wind into that revolved half moon. Step it back, star pose. And then we fall in star to the back, or we're set up for jelly. So left knee lowers, we inhale. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, shift it forward, horizon. Exhale, brings it all the way through so that we inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, moving into our half moon. We lift, and then right hand down. Right leg comes behind. We can cat-cow that movement. We can go into our cross-legged crow, or we can do whatever we want to. Maybe fun, final, last vinyasa, because you did it. Amazing. I hope you feel so accomplished right now because you did such an amazing job. So I want to invite you to come into a seated position where you find stillness, or a reclined position where you find stillness, however you want to shut down your practice today. So you might bring your hands onto your knees, maybe palms face up, or if you're in a reclined space, feel free to take up space on your mat, or if you needed more because you're not feeling done with your practice, that is also great. But we're going to slow down the breath. We're going to feel those side bodies really draw outward as we inhale and feel them draw in as we exhale. And see if we can allow ourselves to find a little bit more space. So maybe increase the count of your inhale and exhale. And maybe put a big smile on your face so that you have this overall sentiment of just contentment. As you make your way into your final shape, I want to encourage you to soften your breath and allow your body to be still so that you can allow the benefits of the practice to sink in. So just allowing yourself to be after putting in all of this work so that you can let it sink in. Finding our Savasana. As always, feel free to stay here as long as you need. But if you are ready, start to find some movement like wiggling the fingertips and toes. Maybe more movement if you're on your back. We will meet in a seated position of choice where we'll bring our hands together, our heart center for our Anjali mudra as we tuck our chin under. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me in class today. Thank you for bringing all of your energy and your hard work. Know that I'm so very proud of you. And please take this idea of Asteya, or trusting that there's enough with you, leading with contentment with you. And until next time, namaste.